Rolling, 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 rolling.
Rolling, 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 roll. Who's Roland?
I don't know. Seems like a cool guy. He gets the people amped for sure.
Does. We're back and we have a brand new single out.
We're back, baby. Katastro's back. New single. Tell Me I'm Okay. Who's it featuring, Ryan?
Featuring Jared Watson of Dirty Heads. When did they drop the?
I don't know. I don't think it ever was the.
There was a the. It used to be the Dirty Heads.
I always get confused with band names. Like, is it Red Hot Chili Peppers or is it the Red Hot Chili Peppers? Because sometimes it's just not the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. I think that they dropped the, and we're going to have them on eventually to clear that up.
Is it the Red Hot Chili Peppers or is it Chili Peppers, Stevie?
It's RHCP. It's just Red Hot Chili Peppers. But I bet you back in the day, it was the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Remember?
Dude, we should change our name to the Katastro.
Remember that?
Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Okay.
All right. So our new single, Tell Me I'm Okay, is out now.
Yes.
And maybe before we jump into this, let's give people a backstory to the song and like how it, came apart.
Yeah. So obviously, this was from one of those sessions that when we went out to California and started working with Dirty Heads, the whole plan of that trip was to just start writing tracks, not finish anything, not overproduce anything, just get some basic ideas with those guys, and then hopefully get them to feature on a song. And so I believe it was May 10th was the day that we were in the studio with them, right?
Yeah. So me and Ryan were in our studio yesterday, and I found the original demo that was recorded, and the date said May 10th. So this is the original demo of the first, couple hours we spent when we initially wrote this song and made it in the studio with Jared and Duddy.
Yeah, super bare bones. What I love about this song is like this take that was just probably a couple minutes waiting on with Andy. That's the take that ended up on the song. Andy didn't really get to finish writing lyrics for it. So there's parts of the song where he's not really saying real words and the melody's just there. And we kind of decided after the fact that it just has so much feeling that it was better to have that still in it than to try to fix that. So there's little parts where you hear Jared Watson will kind of pop in for like the pre-chorus and he'll sing a line just to make some of the lyrics make a little more sense. But
in this one, this is all Andy.
This is before.
This is all Andy on this demo. But so this is literally the first 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours we probably spent on just the initial idea of like, hey, let's try and make a song together.
Yeah.
Jared was kind of helping Andy. Jared and Duddy were kind of helping Andy with some of the melody stuff. And we had Andy, like you said, jump in the booth because like the cool thing about Andy is sometimes when he was just feeling something, he would want to just get on the mic without anything written, which most people like will kind of have something written first before they want to get on the mic. But Andy really liked to just like, go off feeling. And this vocal take is literally his second or third take that he ever did.
Yeah.
And like that, like you said, that's one of my favorite things about this song is that it's literally just his initial raw idea, and we decided to keep it because we're like, this is so sick.
Yeah, and this was like 24 hours before he passed away, so this was the night before that we were in the studio.
Yeah, this was literally the day before.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna play the original demo now that the song is out, and you guys have heard the official version. This is the raw, this
bare bones
like, demo.
There's 4 layers or something.
We're gonna play. We're going to play the demo for you guys, and then me and Ryan are going to show you the different pieces of the song and how it was made and show you the different, stems and stuff.
Cool.
So here's the demo.
So tell me what you say at home. So tell me what you say at home. I'm probably not the way I told her to say at home. Cause I don't really care what you say at home. But I do this every day. Someone tell me I'm okay. Hey, hey. I break me in, now cut me off. I think I learned a lot. I want it all, but not today. I really want it all. So send me down a different place. I really want it all. I live it all, but I just do not ending up like you. Tell me what you say, what you say, what you say at home, at home. So tell me what you say, what you say, what you say at home.
Dude, it's kind of sick how much the feeling of the OG demo is still in the final.
Yeah, it's super raw. There's like I
final.
said, like it's unfinished vocals. It just has a lot of feeling, and it's like a great vocal melody. And we did have help with our friend Ryan Ogren, co-produce or produce this for us. And he's worked with massive artists like Doja Cat and fucking Kid Laroi and like massive people. And
but he wasn't in the original session for this though.
No,
it was just
so
all of
these
us.
ones were beforehand. But like we had gone through multiple sessions on just stacking and adding things, but the whole idea is right there in that chorus, and it's like everything that we did in just 2 or 3 hours there. That's pretty much the song, and all the other stuff is just like either taking little things away or adding minor things to it. But there's no like massive changes were made to make it become what it actually is.
So I'm interested to hear what you remember, because going back on deconstructing this album and talking about the songs that we started making 2 years ago, or even longer, because it's been over 2 years now since Andy passed. It's hard to remember timelines. Like I feel like me, you, and Tanner get really confused with like what happened first, or like how the song was made, or how many sessions or whatever. What I initially remember when we made this song was you went into the other tracking room. Like I had just set up my laptop and getting ready to like start the session, and Jared was sitting on the couch. Andy and Jared were sitting on the couch, and Duddy and Tanner, and you walked into the tracking room, to the live room at the studio, and there was this really sick white Rhodes.
It was like a Wurlitzer.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so. I believe it was a Wurlitzer or like a very rare Rhodes.
I think it was a
like,
white.
It was like white or like baby blue or something.
I'm pretty sure it was a white Fender Rhodes, because I have a picture of it.
You do?
And we'll put it in here.
Hell yeah.
But dude, so Ryan, Cam, the main engineer at the studio, was helping me get all situated and set up and stuff. And he's like, "Hey, do you want to mic that while he's jamming in there?" And I was like, "Sure." So we set a mic up and I started recording you. And I don't even know if you knew I was recording something, but you started playing those keys, which I'm going to play it right here. So these are Ryan walked into the room, started playing these. So you were playing around and you were like kind of figuring it out, and I remember Jared's like sitting behind me and just yells, "That's dope, Ryan!" And he was like, "That's sick."
So I didn't hear him do that. So what I remember,
that's what I remember.
Yeah. So because I was in the other room, but yeah, we walked in, and I just knew we had to start coming up with an idea, and I think I'd maybe been playing around like on bass, just trying to come up with any like rough idea of like chord progressions for the next track. And nothing was really happening. And so I saw that key, like the Rhodes. I walked up to it and I just started kind of playing around and found those chords. And I was like, it reminds me a little bit of like that, that song, I forget the band, but it was just like had this kind of like more indie feel to it. And I was like, I just kept playing it because I was like, I hope they can hear this because I think this could be cool. And so I remember walking back in and everybody's like, "Yeah, dude, that's sick. Keep doing it." And I was about to like try to pitch it to all you guys, but it was already kind of like set that was going to be the beginning of the next song.
Yeah, dude. Another thing that's kind of cool. I want to play it one more time because you can hear the snares on the snare drum that are also in the live room buzzing while you're playing the Rhodes. Like, listen. You can also hear your fingers on the Rhodes because we had a live mic.
I think like a little bit of me breathing.
So when Clint Gibbs mixed this, he brought that out a lot. Like in the intro, like you can hear the snares buzzing, you can hear the extra background stuff, and I love how raw and like dirty that sounds.
This is probably one of the more raw and dirty, fucking just straight up alternative rock songs we've ever released.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah.
But I remember like, just kind of briefly skipping ahead. I remember once we finished this one, we were all like, oh, this is the single, like this is the main song. And then we ended up kind of going on to write a bunch of other songs that we were all like, all right, these are the singles too.
Yeah.
But this one was immediately, we were all kind of pretty in love with it.
So then we got Andy's verse vocal that comes in right here.
So tell me what you say at home. So tell me what you say at home. I'm probably not the way I told it to say at home. Cause I don't really care what you say at home.
So that kind of shows really like the writing process that Andy had for most of our songs, though, because we would all just work on, like, the melody is the most important part.
For sure. And he would always
arguably more
plug,
important than anything that's being said, actually.
And he'd always plug in words after.
Right. And so he would always just do that, where just kind of mumbling words and finding like consonants and vowels and stuff that he liked to end on, and just forming, like, we would all kind of pitch in on melodies and stuff. And once the melody was set, then the words we added into it. And so when we were done with this, we're like, dude, this melody's fucking perfect. Let's get into it next week and we'll finish it. But
this
we
was
didn't have next week.
Yeah, for sure. I remember this part was when Andy started singing this, and you and Jared were also chiming in on, like, you know, I think just all trying to sing together to figure out what the melody was. But I remember when we landed on this, all of us were lit up like, this is fire. This pre right here.
But I do this every day. Someone tell me I'm okay.
Yeah. So with that melody, me and Jared were like on the side, and we were just humming things like over the music, both at the same time, just separately. And I came up with a vocal melody that was very close to that, and we showed Andy, and then Andy changed it into like his own thing and made it that line, which is so much cooler than
dude, that was the dopest thing about Andy, is like, because like I remember always being in the studio with him, like me and you and Tanner would have cool ideas, but none of us have that swagger charisma thing that Andy had.
He could get away with a lot more than I could.
Well, he just has that thing, bro. Yeah. He has that thing. He's got that swag that like you have to be born with. So like a lot of ideas that we knew like were cool, he could take to like just such a higher level because of who he was.
Yeah, and it's also just like, I mean, it's kind of like that with any vocalist that you work with. It's like their voice works different. So something that I think sounds cool in my like rough voice, I'm not a singer, but I can at least map out the melodies and stuff. It might not sound as cool as like I envision it on this other voice, but then they know what works for them. And like his like little just hopping around on the notes and separating it instead of having it be like more singy, like that ended up working out.
Yeah, I also really love his rasp in these specific vocal takes.
Yeah,
because there was something really cool about how Andy would sing when he wasn't trying, and there's something so dope about these vocals being the takes that he, you know, in his head he's probably like, I don't need to do it perfect right now. Like I just want to get this idea out and just get it out, you know.
But like we were trying to just speed through everything, right? Like, so it was like, we were like, hey, let's get this done as fast as possible so we can go do another song.
Yeah. But I guess what I'm trying to say is sometimes when Andy wasn't trying, it was when he performed the coolest.
Yeah.
Do you know, or like it just sounded the dopest because it was just like raw in him. And anyway, so then we got the chorus vocal, or should I just play the chorus? So here we go.
Break me in, now cut me off. I think I learned a lot. I want it all, but not today. I really want it all. So send me down a different place. I really want it all. I live it all, but I just do not ending up like you.
So like, dude, that lyric when he says, I want it all, but not today. And he's saying, set me down in a different place because I really want it all.
Yeah.
Waking up the morning app that we found out what had happened.
Yeah.
I remember all of us sitting at a hotel, and I remember going out to be outside by myself because we were just trying to process. We were in shock. I remember putting my AirPods in and listening to this demo because we had literally just recorded it the day before. And I still to this day cannot believe that that's just something that came out of him and that he was singing, because all we had was the melody, dude. So all those words were just gibberish, just
right. Yeah,
hey,
it's
this is just
freestyling. Pretty much.
It was literally him freestyling. So like for him to be saying that and singing that the day before he tragically dies in a car accident too, it wasn't like he knew.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? There's so many hints of that all over the album, but this song particularly sticks out to me. Like it's almost eerie in a way, but it was so much one of those things that had so much more impact and meaning after he had left.
Yeah, and I mean, with the way that the vote, because it has these, this line that sort of makes sense, and then it goes into just to do not end up just like you, which is like, it's close to making sense, but it doesn't at all. And so I remember when we were going to finish or working on these with, I think, Keller, like the first time we opened it up afterwards, just seeing what we had, that was like a real debate on like, fuck, like, can we do this song? Like, is this song even usable? Because there's no real words in the verse, and then there's not a complete chorus. But I do remember coming up with the decision that it's just like the feeling is there and the idea is sort of there, and you can still kind of get it. And I added backing harmonies to mimic the gibberish at the end of it, and then Matt Keller added like a super high squeaky vocal to at the very end there over the words that don't really make sense. And then when you hear the full version, it's like you can't even really tell.
Yeah, and I remember Jared too. Like I think at some point I asked Jared, I was like, "Yo, do you think it's a problem that you can't really understand what he's saying near the end of the chorus?" He's like, "No, dude, leave that in. It's fire. Like that part's sick."
Yeah,
and yeah, I remember all of us having conversations about that, not only on this song, but so many songs on the album, because you do get to that line where you're like, we can't just put a bunch of gibberish stuff on.
Right. Well, there's a limit, and it's like, yeah, we all agreed this is one we can do it, but I don't think we did it for any other songs, because we can't just we don't want the album to feel incomplete, but also the way this song feels and the feeling behind his vocals and the words that are there that do make sense kind of paint the story, and then having it just be unfinished kind of perfectly encapsulates that story of what actually happened. It's like we didn't have the chance to finish it. Those are just like your last words could be gibberish. It's just like that is just how it is. It's the song turned out so amazing to me. I think part of why I love it so much is that raw, real, this is just us a few hours in a studio with a shitload more hours afterwards working on the music and making it work. But this is just the original idea was so quick and so spontaneous and so real.
And it's cool too, because like, I feel like the best songs that we have made as a band, the initial just, core idea of it was mostly it, like this, you still feel like this isn't that far away. I mean, the final one's dressed up more and it's bigger, obviously.
Cleaner, yeah.
But another one of my favorite things, bro, and I really miss this so much from Andy, because he loved doing ad-libs and he loved doing vocal effects stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember feeling like when we came up with the initial idea, like, yo, we need some kind of like loud sound before the chorus hits, because we have the drop before the pre-chorus, or when the pre-chorus ends, it drops and it hits the chorus. So I had him go onto the mic and I was like, yo, go up there, and I recorded him doing, like, he just yelled, and I put a bunch of distortion on it and ended up turning like this. Like that bark is so fire.
Yeah.
To me, it's such a big part of the song now too, because you just hear that right before the drop, and then it hits, and it hits so hard when you first hear the chorus.
Yeah, so I thought that was like a dog sample, because we've done that in the past where like we had like a panther growl. I remember one time
it's Andy
on
Andy
like
yelling.
Washed, I believe we have like I was like, what's like let's get like a lion's roar right before it goes into it, and Matt Keller was looking, and we found out what a real lion's roar sounded like, and it wasn't this big thing that we thought it was.
Yeah, that's what's crazy too. It sounds like a bark, but it's just Andy yelling woo. And then we like blew it out with some distortion. And there's a lot of other cool elements in this song, man. Like in the chorus, we've got this little synth line that you played. When you started playing that, to me, that gave me such a like Pixies vibe, or just this like nostalgic indie rock vibe. But because you got Andy swagging out on the chorus, it's like this weird fusion of music that
Yeah.
feels like you've heard it before, but you haven't.
So I didn't bring my synth on that trip. I don't know why I didn't, but we were in there and this guy had brought in like this old Moog and it just like was not working out for us. And so I believe you pulled up just like MIDI instrument VST, and that's the DX7.
Do you have it?
I do have DX7.
It's this guy right here. This is what it looks like. This isn't going to be the same patch, but this is the instrument we pulled up to use it.
Yeah, so that's a DX7. And those are old, digital synthesizers. They're like FM synths, which I love. Like the thing about the real ones on those is they're not crazy expensive to get, but there's like 4 usable sounds and everything else is like, who the fuck would
It's a really cool synth.
Yeah,
so that
cool.
layer is really sick.
One of my favorite additions to the song is not in this part, but it's that lead Rhodes line that goes over the second and last chorus.
This shit's sick. Your bass line.
Oh yeah.
So before you did that bass line, I remember I added these drums in because I was like, oh, we got to blast off somewhere after we get to the pre-chorus, when the chorus hits. We have this break. It's just like a basic beat. But dude, some of our most favorite songs, or some of my most favorite Katastro songs, the drums are always really simple, but like the feeling is there.
Everything in the song
everything's
is very
there.
simple.
Like everything's very simple, but like the feeling and like only having minimal pieces. I feel like it's something we've learned a lot over the years making songs is that you don't need a lot of building blocks. It's just every single building block you have needs to really have a purpose and like have a reason for being there.
Yeah. So I remember coming out because the bass line is it's about as simple as it gets. And, it's just what this song called for. But I was trying it out on my bass and it just was not sounding right. And I don't play with a pick ever. So I was looking for that sound.
You never would do that.
I never would.
You never would.
I never would. But I just couldn't get the sound. Like I needed a sound of like P bass with a pick pretty much. And so like we were trying our hardest to get it. And Cam, the guy that owned the studio we were at, he's like, here, check this out. I got a bass for you, and just handed me the heaviest like 80s P bass. The thing was so heavy, and it was like really hard to play because the entire day I'd just been playing on these like short scale basses. So I'm playing that one, end up recording it, put it down, and realize it's the bass belonged to the dude from Alkaline Trio. Why can't I think of his name? I was talking about it yesterday.
I don't know. I remember Cam had a lot of cool gear,
He was
though.
in Blink-182. What's his name?
Maskiba?
Skiba. Yeah. So, yeah, it was
He
Matt.
was in Blink-182, bro. Don't say he is in Blink-182.
He was.
He was.
Briefly.
Tom's back, bro.
Tom's back. Okay. Yeah, so that was Matt Skiba's bass. And I was like, holy shit, why do you just have this hanging out? He's like, you want to see something really cool? And he showed me Lenny's bass that he had, like the Rickenbacker from Motorhead, and
yeah,
like,
so
it was classic thing. And as a bassist, and like when I first started out, I was like, I just want to play punk music, like to be able to hold like a real old Rickenbacker that was his, and it's like custom. It's nobody else has one like it, so you knew it was Lemmy's. It was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, Kamp. So the guy that owns the studio that we did this song in, he has worked. He's been in the studio with Michael Jackson. He did tons of Motorhead records.
Didn't he say Dr. Dre taught him how to use the MPC?
Yeah, he's been in the room with just so many. He's such a cool dude, man. He has tons of really awesome gear too. So I remember being excited when he got me all set up to record you guys. We were able to use I remember him plugging your bass into like a distressor,
yeah,
and like some extra pedals for that like fuzz, like all this bass. I don't even think I was really doing much in the box, and it just sounds awesome.
It sounds like
it sounds like grungy as shit.
Yeah,
just so cool. But I remember having a lot of fun during those sessions, and also it felt super cool to be in the room with Jared and Duddy, who we've spent so many years looking up to, touring with them and playing shows with them, and being on common ground with them in the studio where they were like, yo, let's just make some dope music. Yeah. It was really really fun.
It was. I mean, and like we played so many shows with them. We knew the Dirty Heads pretty well, but we had never worked in the studio with them really. Like Jared had come in once to record a verse for us on Waste the Night, but that had been years beforehand, and also it was just a quick him doing a verse. Like we never like wrote a song with Jared.
Yeah, it was never
Duddy.
like us actually being creative together with them.
Yeah, and it was really cool because Duddy would come up with like a guitar part. I think "Good Time" was like a Duddy line, and he would start playing it, and you're like, yeah, it sounds like fucking Dirty Heads, because like it's just the most Duddy thing. And then Jared would like start doing a verse or helping Andy with like doing a rap verse or writing lyrics or whatever, and you're just like, sounds like fucking Jared. It's Tanner, just cool.
Yeah, Tanner ended up putting guitar on this song too, but in the original demo, I'm not sure if there's much guitar in this one, but in the actual version of the song that's out now, there's cool ambient guitar and stuff in the pre-chorus and chorus and stuff.
Yeah, there's electric guitar and a lot of acoustic.
So, yeah, it's really cool to look back on old demos and see how they first came about.
Yeah, this one.
Hopefully people are interested in this stuff. I think this stuff is cool when I see other artists do this, so we thought it would be cool to break it down for you guys.
Yeah, me too, man. Yeah, I love this track, and a lot went into finishing it and keeping it, like trying to keep the energy of this demo right here that we're listening to in the final, but just making it sound better. So I'm proud of this one. I'm glad that it's out. It's one of my favorite songs on the new album, Until the End of Time. And
me too. This song's a banger, bro.
Yeah, man.
And I hope I think this song brings the type of energy that can get people truly excited for the release of the album, because I think Muse was more of this like more somber, heartfelt song,
sentimental, yeah.
And now this is like,
this is
the rock band Katastro.
It sounds like
Katastro,
yeah.
Yeah, and it's heavy, bro.
I think people will hear, Good Time and Muse and this one and be like, what the fuck is going on with this album? Because none of it sounds like it's going to make sense at all. And especially after you hear the one that's coming after this one, you're going to be like, what the hell is happening? This album's all over the place.
But it all ties in and it all works together. And oddly enough, Andy left us with everything we needed to make this really feel like the most cohesive like concept album that you've probably ever heard from our band.
Yeah. I mean, once you listen to it and you're able to do it all in order, it will all make sense. And yeah, I hope people love it, but I'm really proud of this one and I love it. So
yeah, me too. Well, go listen to Tell Me I'm Okay featuring Jared Watson from Dirty Heads.
Yeah, hell yeah. And we are, and we'll just end it right there.
Love y'all. Peace.
So tell me what you say at home, at home. So tell me what you say at home, at home. It's probably not the way, probably not okay at all, at all. 'Cause I don't really care what you say at home, at home. But I do this every day. Someone tell me I'm okay. It off and now you wanna talk. I try to scream your name with the smoker's cough. I lay my head upon your lap with the broken jaw. I'm the problem, the solution, and the only cause. You know the deal, you know the real me and the open flaws. I'd rather take a bow than some fake applause. I'd rather feel what you feel, man, you lost the plot. I have not forgot